Hello and welcome to the France 24 interview. My guest today is the President of Ukraine, Petro Poroshenko. Mr. President, thank you very much for being with us.
Thanks a lot for the invitation.
Mr. President, this was a very eventful NATO summit, but all the eyes are already cast on Helsinki, where in a few days, President Trump will meet for a summit with President Putin. You met President Trump here in Brussels, and the big question for many observers is the issue of Crimea. The US President said many times, he repeated it here today, that we'll see what happens with Crimea. Did he give you any assurances that Crimea was not part of the negotiations with Putin?
This is not my first meeting with the President Trump, and all the meetings we have absolutely clear position of the United States, confirmed in many documents about the non-recognition, the illegal annexation of the Crimea by United States, by NATO, by European Union, and by the whole world, because no country in the world recognized Crimea because that was illegally annexed. And during yesterday, it was an official statement of NATO with the participation of all leaders of the states and leaders of the government, including President Trump, where it's absolutely clear message and clear words. Crimea is Ukrainian. We never recognize illegal annexation. This is direct citation. And I don't see any other reason why anybody want to change the position. Well, it was the same position of Department of State of the United States, the same position of the White House, and this is confirmed with the resolution of United Nations General Assembly and many other documents.
But what about President Trump? Why? It's not the first time. I mean, you've met leaders here who were at the G7 summit, where Donald Trump went to see them and said, well, you know, after all, in Crimea, they all speak Russian. He says publicly, we'll see what happens. So it's not clear.
In a G7, it was no any communique, no any official documents. I cannot comment anything where I'm not participant. And of course, we have a statement of the US ambassador in Ukraine confirming me that the official position of the United States confirmed by President Trump, Crimea is Ukrainian. And
did he tell you this face to face?
Today, definitely, yes, many times.
Including here?
Definitely, yes, many times. But not important what he said in a private conversation. Not he said what he had in the confidential negotiation. It's important what the NATO, including with the leading role of the United States, make an official statement and as a result of the summit. And if you read, this is clear, absolutely clear message. Let's not try to find out black cat in a black room. There is not existing.
So you're not worried about this Helsinki summit,
no,
honestly, Mr. President?
Honestly, I have absolutely confident that in no country in the world, they cannot find out any legal opportunity to recognize occupation of the Crimea as a legal action, because this is an absolutely dangerous precedent. If first time after World War II, anybody, as a result of the military aggression, which is a military crime, try to grab any foreign territory, no matter if it is Crimea, Corsica, Sardinia, or any other
so you're not afraid?
I think that this is we have a responsible behavior, and this is not happening.
I want to get to other...
Or if it is happening,
yes,
it would be completely different action, and it would be catastrophe for the whole world. And if this, in theory, can happen, that would be brutal violation of the direct obligation of United States and France. And I'm absolutely confident this never happened.
Donald Trump also mentioned Germany and an issue that you probably are interested in, this gas pipeline project, Nord Stream 2, that would go directly from Russia to Germany. He said, quote unquote, this would mean Germany is totally controlled by Russia. Obviously, you're against this project because it would bypass Ukraine. Is he right on this point, President Trump?
I hate the idea to commend President Trump. They have
but what's your opinion on this?
And they have a lots of people to command that. I hate the idea to command the Chancellor of Germany. I'm a president of Ukraine, sovereign and independent states. And our absolutely clear position was published today that point number one, Nord Stream 2 is not a commercial project. It has had nothing to do with the economy.
It's a political project?
This is absolutely a political project which lowering the competitiveness of the European economy as a whole European Union. And this is the rising up for, I don't know, for dozens of billions of dollars for spending for nothing, because Ukraine has absolutely reserved capacity for the transit Russian gas to Europe for the amount which exceeding both Nord Stream 1, Nord Stream 2 and Turkish Stream. So this is just a political project to make first Europe more dependent from Russia, danger for the energy security, and the danger for the European competitiveness. With that situation, I fully support the dangers of this Nord Stream 2 and estimation of the President Trump directly to that.
I want to get to the situation in eastern Ukraine. Many people think it's a kind of frozen conflict. You've had conversations over the issue, including with the French president. Is there any hope of a breakthrough? I know you've been insisting on having a United Nations peacekeeping mission in the area, but it's stuck right now. Is there any hope on the horizon?
This is not me who insisting. I do that since year 2014. This is now the joint position of all the countries who give us the security guarantee. To answering your question, point number one, this is not a frozen conflict. And that's why I use the opportunity of our interview just to remind. In May, we lost 17 Ukrainian soldiers. In June, we lost 25 Ukrainian soldiers for months. Since the beginning of the year, killed and wounded, it was 150 civilians. This is a real hot war because of the Russian aggression on the east of my country. Russia, this is not us. This is Ukrainian sovereign territory. And this is Russia send their troops to killing Ukrainians. And the peacekeepers need not to return Ukrainian sovereignty. We can do that with a political process. Need to bring peace on this land, to stop killing, to be presence of the peacekeepers under the mandate of the resolution of the Security Council of the United Nations can help us to withdraw Russian troops from this territory, to withdraw Russian tanks, Russian artillery.
But that's not happening.
And no, this is happening because Russia should explain to the whole world why they are against. We, the peacekeepers, this is the international force, absolutely objective source of the information, come there, protect local population, and create the political and security precondition for the implementation of Minsk. And we have security guarantee from Russia in the Budapest Memorandum, we have a signature of Russia under the Minsk Agreement, and we have a Russian responsibility, and this is extremely important. Russia is an aggressor, and this is the first time demonstrate today in the documents of this summit of NATO, this aggressive action of Russia brings to this situation. And this is the joint understanding that this is Russia and this is aggression.
But is there any hope? I mean, there are also talks of maybe of a prisoner swap. Obviously, Ukraine has been demanding from Russia the freedom of people held in Russia, especially the film director Oleg Sentsov. You've talked to Vladimir Putin, I think, last month. Is there any hope that this could happen? Is this in the works?
Yes.
Definitely yes.
First of all, I'm an optimist. I think that we have a strong hope for the peacekeepers. We have a strong hope for releasing Ukrainian hostages and political prisoners. And there is no any swap, because they are criminals. They are terrorists. In the country with the rule of law, such as Ukraine, it was an independent court decision with a terroristic action. And in exchange, in Russia, they arrest, for example, Sentsov, just for the fact, or Baluch, that he refused to accept the Russian passport. He just put the Ukrainian flag on the occupied Crimea. Can you imagine that people who established the French flag would be, just for this fact, be in prison for 7 years?
So you said you're hopeful.
And with that situation, I'm absolutely confident. And this is give me more optimism, because with all the leaders, with the member states which I met today, and the number was more than 15, including President Macron, I was very much appreciate that President of the Republic, Emmanuel Macron, knows the name of the political prisoners in Russia. I mean, Oleg Sentsov, I mean, Sushchenko, he was the journalist of Ukrainian media accredited in Paris. And he was illegally arrested in Moscow. And both the President Macron and the First Lady knows the name and insisting and rising up this question on meeting with Putin.
And so you think Putin might be flexible on this issue?
We released more than 3,000 hostages since the beginning of the operation. Definitely, Putin don't need them. This is the instrument of the political pressure to Ukraine and Ukrainian authorities. And now, when the whole world knows the real situation, Putin cannot explain why they keep in prison in Moscow, in occupied Crimea, in Siberia, the Ukrainian heroes. They just love their motherland, nothing more.
So you think they'll return home soon? Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. President, for your time. And thank you very much for watching this interview here on France 24 from Brussels.